Greetings. I have important concerns I'm sharing now about names, spelling of names, pronunciation of names, in the sense that we are to do what is right. The Lord, our God, has brought us the truth, and we should be truthful people. Nagul al-Haq Diamond. Let me start by saying, if you work it, there was a time I said in South Sudan we used four names. We use four names. That may not have been well received. In fact, I noticed that some people were uncomfortable, thinking that maybe I meant something against them who have two or three names. My context was that I was saying that to tell the people who are listening that it is normal, like somebody like me, to have four names, and it is what we use in South Sudan. We in the sense that our generation or some people like me have four names in their documents. So when I use four names, I was not doing something wrong. That does not mean other South Sudanese do not have less than four names or have more than four names. They can magasit hagi. I had to use four names, and it was good for me, and it was what we do. We, some of us, South Sudanese. So that point is important in what I'm trying to say also generally on what is the truth. Since I was little, I was told I had to use four names. I knew my four names from a little age, and the arrangement was that it is your name and then you have two names. I think that was the law or something like that. You have to use your first name, which is Christian name, then the second name could be your home name, and then your father's name, and then your grandfather's name. That was something to maintain how the person is formed from the grandfather to the rest, to his name. And then yeah, so I think those who have two names, they should not hate me. Those who have three names, they should not think I am against them. Even I saw some people have 4 or 5 names. That is them, if they have their own reasons for that. So I think that is somehow settled. But I will get back to that point if there is something relevant that I may remember now. I have another point about spellings. Spellings are very important. For example, and I'm using myself because I think somebody else may learn from my context. If somebody says Rogers, that is not my name. My name is Roger. It's R-O-G-E-R. The pronunciation in the dictionary sometimes, it is Roger. Roger. I see there is a British pronunciation, English, and then there is American pronunciation. So even the French would say Roger, Roger. And so it is good to respect the truth. There is no S in my name. So people who are calling me Rogers, or people who are writing my name R-O-D-G-E-R, these are dishonest people or ignorant people. The name is R-O-G-E-R, and there is a reason why people go to school, people learn spellings, people learn how to write. If it is pointless, then why would we have education to teach us writing, to teach us pronunciation? All these are important because a person has to read and then pronounce correctly, so that there is distinction. People are able to distinguish between the person being called or another person who may be impersonating the person who is being called. So I find it disrespectful if people don't take that into consideration. Sometimes they try to argue that they are the same. There's no, what is the problem? What is the difference? That is not good. Not only for my name, but in all contexts, in all other names. And so yeah, Even more deeply, if this may be relevant, uh, for my case, I had to use phonemes from the little age, though sometimes in my certificates in primary school, from nursery, I see some of my certificates still had two names. And then in the primary school, three names. I could not pronounce the letter R. It was difficult for me to say Yoron. Even Roger was hard for me. I would say Yoja, Yoja. So it became a bit easier for me to write my name Roger Alfred Modi, Roger Alfred Modi. Until when I was in primary 8, that's when my certificate included the name Yoron. And then I continued that way. So my case was so unique that I had to use only one name. Up to now, my name is only one, Roger. The rest are my father's, Alfred Yoron Modi. So for some people, it is not the same because they were able to use their second name in the middle, and then their fathers, and then their grandfathers. So if I were to use my name of home, could be either the way people call me Chap Chap or Diongo. So it would have been Roger or Diongo, Alfred, and then I don't know whether we would have jumped to Modi or we would have maintained also Ibayang. My grandfather is Peter Ibayang Modi. So my father decided to write his name Alfred Yoron Modi. I don't know what was the condition that time at his decision, but he skipped Peter Ibayang and then he wrote Modi. Modi is the grandfather, his grandfather, and then his father is Peter Ibayang. So he would have written Alfred Yoron Ibayang or Alfred Yoron Peter. But because of his reasons that I do not know, so he decided to write it that way. And I see some people sometimes think I'm Barry. I've never claimed to be Barry at any point in my life. Yes, the name Modi is used by Barry and others, even Madi used that, and Mundari. And so it is simple. I say sometimes Finas some Wisim. Some people name, maybe a neighbor can give a name, a friend can give a name. So I don't really know the circumstances around the naming of my great grandfather Modi. Yet some people indicated that one of his parents, mother or father, was Barry. So I was not sure. I was told mixed information. Sometimes I was told it was the father who was Barry and he grew up with the mother Lotuko. And then recently I was told also it was the mother who was Barry, and then he grew up with the father Lotuko. I think that may be something important for some other time, but for now I know all the years I was growing up and I was oriented. My father is Lotuko, my mother is Madi, and there is no dispute about that. The great-grandparents, if we were to look back, all of us, we would all reach, based on our faith, to Adam and Eve, and we would go back to our father God and our mother Mary. So I see no dispute, no problem. Understanding that all of us still have the same grandfather, the same grandmother from Eve, and then our mother also became Mary. Our great grandfather Adam, the first man, and we all belong to God. In terms of identity, I identify myself, of course, from the tribal side, Lotuko mixed with Madi. There's no dispute about that. And so may those who want to benefit from that. We have many people named after many names of popular people, even if they are not from those tribes. Back to the point about phonemes, yes. At some point, it was also important to know where a person comes from. I remember the things that dealt with identification here in Sudan, when Sudan was one, and South Sudan due to rebellions and how people would be disappearing or so, or something like that. So identifying people with many names was very important, so that people are not just mixed up wrongly. So I have strong reasons to continue using my forenames, because there is no reason not to use them. That's number one. And number two, it is important for me that way my documents are officially like that. And yeah, may this benefit people, and I hope this helps that the people who had been appearing like they are unhappy with me because I said in South Sudan we use forenames. It was in a big event I attended that dealt with discussions on books in Nairobi. The video is here also in my YouTube channel, and when somebody listens to it and he has 2-3 names, sometimes they may get annoyed. So I did not mean to hurt anyone. It was not to discriminate negatively. It was to discriminate positively, that some of us use forenames and it is normal, because some people think it is too long. Some people think, why would somebody use forenames? And with places now that are common, or not even that only, but also with the fact that people relate, people travel, people meet, it is very important to distinguish people. Somebody may have a name very close to your name, and then if you are not careful, you may take their place or they may take your place, and it may bring conflict. So it is good that in the pursuit of the truth and what is right, what is just, let us identify ourselves correctly. No disrespect, no impersonation, just yourself. Who you are known as a person, how you are known as a person, what you do, what you've been doing. It gives a lot of satisfaction to people like me to just be ourselves, to be myself. Nothing, no forgery, no wrong credit to claim. Just be who you are, and the blessings of God will continue to flow your way. But if you forge, if you try to be somebody who you are not, you will be chasing away the blessings that are supposed to be yours, and you will also not reach what you deserve. So that coherence is from bottom to top and from top to bottom. Min folk letihit min tihit le folk, all the way from God and from the people with you at your level. So who are you? تكون وادي كان الحروف اللي بدرسوه في مدارس عنده معنى، عنده سبب، في طريقة اللي بنطقوه. بقى مشكلة وين؟ معلو زول تاني در يخلي حرف واحد برا، ما در ينطق حرف تاني، ولا در يقرأ، ولا در يلحن، در يلام اسم تا زول. دي حاجات اللي بيجي بقاسد ما كويس. So اسم تا زول بقرأ وادي. ده كلام تا حقائق، الحق اللي يسوى ربنا جاب لنا. زول يكون فخور بإنجازاته، بشخصيته. ما بكون ساعة زول بمشي بعمل تزوير، تزوير اسم تا زول، تزوير شخصية تا زول، تزوير إنجازات عشان تظهر أنت تظهر زي زول تاني. ما بجي كلام زي ما كويس، بيجيب فيه فقرات، بيجيب مشاكل، بيجيب أوجه. خلينا نكون صراحين دائما، ما بس أوقات معين. Let us be truthful all the time. اسمي روجر، أنا في العربي بكتب راء واو جيم ألف. لأنه الإنجليزي ادانا الروجر ده R الآخر ده سايلنت. سو ما بيجي عشان أنا نكتب را واو جيم ألف ورا فيو روجير ولا نقول فيه يا ورا. اسمي من صغير كتبوه بعربي را و جا ألف روجر. لكن في إنجليزي بطلع 5 حروف لأنه جي ده طلع ار ده سايلنت بقى روجر. ده موضوع بتاعت فونيتكس، النطق في اللغات. زول الماشي يعمل بحث بيشوفه. and then معاني بتاع كلمات ذاته. معنى بتاع كلمة روجر بيستخدموه في الإنجليزي message received and understood. R قال to signal message received and understood. في جانب تاي أنا فهمتها هو الرسالة بتاعت خلاصة. أنا قبلتها، أنا سميت الرسالة اللي يسوع جاب لنا اللي خلصنا من خطايا، ما وفاء حقه ما قيامة حقه. دي رسالة جميل شديد. اسمي ذات أنا كان أشوف قريب زي المخلص يسوع مسايا. I see that way because he was a messenger sent to bring the message of salvation by living through this human life and dying on the cross and also rising from the dead. So that was bigger than the message John the Baptist brought, because John the Baptist was not the Messiah, but Jesus himself, Yahweh al-Masih. وأنا شايف نفسي زي ده في النهاية إنه أنا قبلتها بالرسالة. I understood، أنا فهمت الرسالة. والدراسات اللي بيدرسون إنه الإنجليش dictionary says R is signal. that's why تقدر تشوف في رواد الناس بيقولوا roger that radio calls. people communicate including in the army and the others. roger that, message received and understood. So mine, that is the simple meaning I understand of my name, yet very big and very important. And then the other meaning, I know there's another meaning there in the English dictionary, but I don't like to identify myself with. It is not what I would be proud of as the meaning of my name. Moreover, I did not choose the name. So the reason I was given the name was because I was born in February 1992 when the president of the Pontifical Council for Justice and Peace in the Vatican, Roger Cardinal Eli Maria Echegaray, came to Juba. So my father was also the chairperson for Justice and Peace in the Catholic Archdiocese of Juba. It became very meaningful, I believe, in their analysis to make to give me the name, and I received it well from little age. Mingo zaman umri talata itnin khamsa, I knew I was named after a cardinal who came from the Vatican, and it's a matter of justice and peace. So I was very proud of that name. Min Makuta Sahara. For Juba Hena, when you had English name at that time, people used to see you with mixed feelings. Either like you are bragging, you are trying to make yourself special because your name is in English, or you are not even truthful. It's like a forgery. So for me, I did not doubt my name. I did not feel any of those negative attitudes from anyone. I was just comfortable because I know that's my name, that's how I write, that's how I was referred to at home, that's how my family called me. There's no problem with anyone who doubted it. So even not only in South Sudan but in other places, I think I've seen in African countries there are people who see like having an English name is of a certain standard, is something high, and then sometimes they try to counter that and try to say maybe that person is not telling the truth and so on. That is not within me. I did not choose the name I was given, and I did not doubt that. Mafi Zamantani, some people came and told me, your name is not Roger. You're making up this from the time I was a child. So I welcomed the name well. I used it throughout. People know me, though some people would prefer calling me by my home name that is popular in the area, Chap Chap, which was even English name. It was an English chap. Chap means a man or a boy. That is the English word. My father used to call me like that, and then some people changed it to Chap Chap because of jokes or I don't know whatever. They try to make it to double it, Chap Chap or something like that, and try to change the meaning to something like I was somebody who's faster. It was like who could do things very quickly and move to other steps or something like that. Like in that is not what I got moved with or I got moved about. I was moved by the fact that I was a boy and I was being called Chap, boy, a boy. And it was English name. I used to have English dictionary. I would just check in the English dictionary at home and I knew there's Chap here, that's my name. And then there's Roger here, that's my name. And it was that simple. And the Lutuko name I had, of course, up to now is still Odiongo. There's no problem with that. The meaning was that I was born during harvest, which meant I was born when there was a lot of food. I was not a hungry person. Even I grew up with that special attitude toward food and toward contentment. I used to see people who used to fight because of food. I wasn't doing that. I was a calm person. Even up to now, I can stay hungry. I would not fight for food. I would not develop hatred because of food. I am very calm. I think that name impacted me. That I am called Odiongo. It was the wisdom of my grandmother, Anorin Iruari, may her soul rest in peace. She gave me the name after her father, who was called Odiongo. And then, yeah. So there's that thing in me. I could see different from some people. Whenever there is food, they become problematic. I wasn't like that. Some people accuse me wrongly, but I was not like that. I'm not even like that. I feel, yes, food, yeah, what is it? I can even stay without food. I was protesting sometimes when I was a kid against my mother. Whenever she developed some things wrongly, I would just leave the food. I would not eat. I would stay hungry throughout up to evening or something the next day. Sometimes she would come and beg me to eat the food. And so that is how I felt very special. Even up to now, I go to places, even if it is public events, if it is what. When people try to misbehave because of food, I just leave it. Because I think there's something wrong. Food and all the good things are from God, and people have to use them fairly. If some people are greedy, I'm not greedy. I'm Odiongo. I was born when there is a lot of food. Even the pictures taken when I was there during Simaya, when I was being brought out, I could see there are a lot of things that already grown. There are things that are cultivated in our home, and they were already there, ready. So I couldn't see myself as a hungry person or a greedy person. This is about the meaning of names. It's not about the khobor, it's not about bragging. And I maintain a small body, which is good for me. It is even satisfying because I don't have to be with a lot of burdens. But I'm good. I'm good with a small body. It has nothing to do with poverty. Anyway, there is also a point before I switch here. There was a point I was making about the names, the spelling. So yeah, the spelling is very important. That is very important for all of us. That's why there is a difference between saying, for example, Roger or Roger or Rogers. Those are in the dictionary. Those three names are there. Rogers, Roger, Roger. R-O-D-G-E-R is there. R-O-G-E-R is there. R-O-G-E-R-S is there. So if somebody is told and is still repeating the mistake, then I can see that person is an enemy. He's a jealous person. That's all I did Anna. I went to Kera. Because there is no reason. If I tell you, my name is not Roger, you stop putting D in my name. You stop putting S in my name. And then you are repeating that. It's either your brain is not functioning well, or you are an enemy. You are doing this intentionally. You are doing it intentionally to annoy me, to make me angry. And then why? Why would you do that to a brother? Why would you do that to a fellow creature of God like you? Why do you want to make somebody sad? That is not good. I see some people, they look like they are terrified. They are disturbed by my achievements and they want to lower me. The way I've done so many things, I've been writing articles, I've written a book. So it is like itching them negatively. It is affecting them to recognize me that I'm Roger, the author of the book. I'm Roger, the author of those articles. I'm Roger who was in the radio. I was Roger who was doing all these things. But until when? I'm not looking for recognition, but at least don't identify me wrongly. I've been able to do activities. I held discussions on my book in a university in Nairobi, university called Tangaza University, and it was excellent. It was done very good. The videos there on YouTube and other engagements, and so I know where I can engage people. But why is it a problem for some people who know me and they want to identify me wrongly for some reasons that maybe they want to spoil a job opportunity from me, they want to lower me in front of some people, or they don't want people to realize that I am the one who had been doing all this great work? Why? I don't think God will support such a thing. God does not do contracts with liars. It does not agree with cheaters, those who are trying to cheat other people. So let us grow and appreciate ourselves well. Let us be good people. Let us acknowledge those who have done great things. And if we cannot acknowledge them, let us not make up lies. Because the Bible tells us, you shall not lie, you shall not cheat. It's there in the 10 Commandments. So why do you add S into my name? That is lying, that is cheating. Why do you add D in my name? I've seen that. Even priests sometimes do that. I was telling a priest sometime back, do not say Rogers. My name is not Rogers. My name is Roger. Because R-O-G-E-R is Roger. It's not Rogers. It's very sad that for one reason or another people may commit mistakes like that. So it is out of good intention that I do what I'm doing truthfully, and what deserves me should come to me. If it is a job, the job has to be done by me because I'm the one who qualifies for it. I'm the one who qualified for it. I'm the one who did the great things, and I'm now the owner of these great things I've done. So why is somebody uncomfortable with that? So that he will bring his cousin, he will bring his friend, he will bring his whatever to take my place? That is wrong. My name is Roger Alfred Yoron Mudi. That's how it is, even in my ID. It is not something that somebody can try to dispute. This is my national ID, and I have several IDs that contain the name. From even the one that was all the way in the old Sudan. So why would somebody do a lot of work to the extent of writing a book, then some people want to misidentify him? Isn't that being like a witch? That's called Sahara. It's like trying to block me from what I deserve. It is not good. It's not in good faith. Because I went to school. I was working from 2010. I was already employed in January 2011. Sorry, 2010 I was a trainee. 2011 I was employed, and then I went to the university. I came back. I worked. So all this work and studies qualified me to do this great work I have done. So why is it now a problem that some people want to poke holes, even when there are no holes? They want to insert. Because I'm young, I'm 34 years old, I look better than them in achievements. Is it jealousy? What is the problem? Who told them not to study well when they're in primary school and secondary school to have a strong brain like mine? I was excellent. I was number one most of the times. If you put in total, I was the number one most of the time. And people even around I am very sure if they are put together, they are not like me. And I claim that if we put together through UNESCO other people around the world to assess all the people who studied from primary to secondary, which is the most important foundation of education, I believe I became number one more than the rest around the world. Kullu fil alam de, in the whole world. So that made me unique. And I see myself as the most intelligent and the most wise person in the world. If somebody has a proof against that, karas khali yubu. If somebody thinks he has better certificates from primary to secondary than mine, let them put together and then we assess. And we see who was the strongest brain, who can think better, who can think well, who can think excellently, who can do great works. So I see that is a problem because some people can be older than me. They can be having so many certificates. That do not discourage me. That do not terrify me. That they could have PhDs over PhDs and all this. But let's go back to the basic, the thinking. What is the thinking? What is the level, the thoughts that come out of them? Let's see the analysis they make, the books they write. And then we see who is better. Because I see my brain is much more stronger, much more wiser, and much more truthful, much more excellent. That's why I claim that after Jesus, I follow. And it's very funny and very hard for people to see that I'm saying this. Because I recognize Jesus is the most wisest, the greatest moral teacher throughout human history. He came as a human being and he was perfect. But I don't recognize any person who is more perfect than Jesus and than me. So I see Jesus, then I see myself. So if somebody has a problem with that, let us try to meet and prove why I think so, and let us see how we can even meet in a classroom and see who can do better if we are to do courses, and then we see from the exams and from the output that will come out. Because sometimes some people have a way to maneuver and do exams well, and then in the end they cannot do the work well. So let us see if we go to school together and then we come out together and then we see who can do what work better. Shukran jazilan. And I'm not really trying to suppress any other person. It is good for people to open up. They can be better than me. Actually, this is just an opinion. It's a claim. But there can be people who are better than me. But up to now, I don't see them. I've not had. I have no proof. So it's just that way. Some people can go and do certain things. Let them do, and then we continue to see. I'm not limiting them that I'm the one and only. I'm just saying this is my opinion. And other people, if they work hard, they may also overtake me. Thank you.